Halo Sobat Aliber, selamat datang di channel Jakhud ID. Di video kali ini kita akan menyaksikan pengamat musik dunia memeriksa cover Alip Bata Forever and One dari Hello One. Seperti apa keseruannya? Kopi mana kopi, inilah dia Alip Bata.
Today we are reacting to Forever and One by Halloween. So this is being performed by Alip Bata. So welcome to all the Alipers. I appreciate all you guys and all of your support. Last week's video was another Alip Bata video. We did Buried Alive by Avenged Sevenfold, who is a heavier band, but he did a cool acoustic cover. And Halloween is not a band that I've listened to much. I've heard them a little bit here and there.
And this one is Alip Bata with the song Forever and One from the band Halloween. Not Halloween, but Halloween. That was the last reaction that I've done because I didn't know the song, and also because somebody suggested a song from them, and it just happened to be one of the songs that got suggested to me from Alip Bata as well. So let's check it out how he plays this. The reaction after this will probably be Goosebumps from Alip Bata. Not from him, but his version of the song Goosebumps. If it's a song, I don't know. Okay, without any further ado, let's check it out. This is definitely with his
Alip Bata, the channel, wonderful gentleman right here, Alip, and today he's covering the German power metal band Halloween, formed in 1984, and this song, Forever.
Let's see what we get with Forever and One by Halloween.
Okay, without any further ado, let's check it out. This is definitely with his older guitar. Here we go. The artificial harmonics.
Forever and One Halloween cover. Let's go.
I think, oh, and I should warn people, if you're not familiar with my reactions, I do tend to stop and give my thoughts as the video is going on. If I try to wait till the end, I always forget what they are. And then like 3 days later, I'll remember what I wanted to say and it's too late and it frustrates me. So I always just stop it and say what I think. So fair warning, I don't just listen to it and smile. I try to give some thoughts. And my first thought is, and I noticed this right here when he does this open harmonics thing right there, that a lot of heavy metal songs, especially like the power ballad types, are in E minor. And I don't know for sure if this one is, but a lot of them are, and that really lends well to doing things on the acoustic guitar because you can really use open strings and harmonics like this pretty easily. So so it could be a very good song for that reason to cover.
Incredible, as always. Never disappoints. I see he's got his coffee and the cigarette. That is a staple of creativity, a staple of not just singing, but also playing the guitar. Coffee and cigarettes, yes, very important. But no, just musically, absolutely fantastic, as always. Not many people better on the acoustic than this gentleman here. He's just so seamless. And the way that he transformed the original is so good. I'm going to have to see if anybody else has covered it. I haven't done a duet in a while, so I'll try to do that here in a second. Of course, I was learning the guitar, but I've kind of, gotten busy, and you have to stay consistent. You have to stay very consistent. And yeah, you can't slack. You got to do it every day. But sort of been interesting times. It's a little bit of job searching, a little bit of trying to figure out sort of transitional period here, going into summertime, and it's kind of different because you can't travel. We're wishing to go to the Philippines soon, but we don't know what the prospect of that is looking like at this point due to international travel concerns, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll play it by ear, I guess. So anyways, let me do a cover for y'all. Of course, I might play this at work tomorrow on the old alien ship. They're gonna love it. Oh. Kids running around. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. This is kind of a slower one, and he doesn't really put much of a drum beat, but I'll give it a try. Let's do it.
This is kind of cool because it's almost like the melody's being played more by the bass than it is higher up like you would normally hear. So that's kind of a cool thing. I wonder if the original song is like that.
It seems so casual, right? These are artificial harmonics. Somebody that doesn't play the guitar doesn't know what's going on, because most people think playing the guitar, you press the string and you play the string. And it's simple as that. But there are so many options that you can have with different techniques like Alip Bata does, that is just crazy.
Wait a minute. What do you do there? Sorry, I gotta look at that one more time. I don't think what he's doing is necessarily super complicated, but there's a few notes and techniques that are happening together that are a little bit colliding in an interesting way. Like right there, I think there was kind of a half step with the tap and the harmonic and things that were real kind of dissonant sounding. Pretty cool. Okay, now we've moved up.
Covered this. He's almost transformed it into like a country ballad, like a dark country ballad, as opposed to the original metal version. It's so interesting how he's able to flip it like that, and those finger movements are so seamless as always. His just the way that he manipulates the strings too, like he's got a unique playing style. Man, oh man, never. Ah man, crazy.
Opening the theme again. It's funny, just based on kind of the melody and the chord progressions and things, this almost reminds me of what, like some of those old power ballads by like White Lion and those kind of old like 80s hair bands. I wonder if this song sounds similar to some of those. I'm gonna have to go and check this one out afterwards. I think that's got me curious just how different this is. kind of an unexpected key change. I gotta hear that again. Jump to like C. You hear this going back to the minor, yeah.
Hard to see. That was a very clean slides over the strings. So he slides very accurately over the strings towards every place that he needs to be at, with jumps like over 5 frets and such. That's impressive. That was super quick. And also, sometimes he uses his pinky finger very quickly as a short, quick note to add in there, that it's sometimes hardly noticeable that he actually does it. But this was a very swift movement. I didn't really see what he exactly...
It may not seem like it, but that last note he played right there was the hardest part of the whole song. When it comes to Alip, and I've said this, dozens of times, his superpower is his ability to do these arrangements, to write these arrangements.
Nice harmonic to end with. Damn. Okay, so that was Alip Bata with Forever and One from Halloween. God damn. I didn't know the song. Glad I watched it before though, so I recognized the chorus in there and some of the other parts. That was cool. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my reaction to this one from Alip Bata. Don't forget to check out all my other reactions to Alip Bata and all the other reactions that I have here. The past reactions and upcoming...
Even though he's obviously technically a fantastic guitar player, one of the best. This song specifically technically wasn't super challenging, but anytime you're playing a right-handed kind of pinch harmonic like that, where you're up over the hole here, not over a fret, and there's still a very specific spot you have to hit in order to not get some sort of a clunk sound, right? To get that nice harmonic. And it's not always easy to hit that spot exactly right. I've even heard some of the real greats like Pierre Ben Susan frack those kind of picked notes. And it's always the worst because they do tend to come at the end of a song where like you don't want to have to go back and re-record the whole song if you miss it or something. But that's why I said that was probably the hardest part of the whole thing that he did was hitting that harmonic right at the end there. Beautiful arrangement. I really am curious about the original and how much this is mirroring that, if he did anything on his own or if it's pretty faithful to the original. Because a lot of times Alip will, start off thematically very similar, and then he'll just do his own thing for a while. We saw that especially on things like Hotel California. And so, but I really enjoyed this. It was a very interesting, it was one of the more simple things he's done, but just some of the complexities were more in the arrangement and the jumping back and forth between the melody being in the bass being higher up, things like that. And there was a lot of movement back and forth across the keyboard, even during simple melodies, which I always find kind of interesting. In my mind, it feels like there could have been a way to arrange it where you didn't have to move around so much, but I feel like if that were the case, he would have figured it out. So like I said, his superpower is the arranging, and I'll trust him on that. So anyway, that's my thoughts on this one. I'm definitely going to be watching this again as well as the original. And I look forward to hearing everybody's comments and am interested to see what you guys want me to listen to next. And I'll say it as always, I love listening to Alip Bata, but if you've done some other, Indonesian bands, and it doesn't have to be Indonesian, but VOB or Burger Kill or any of those kind of bands, I'm always up for listening to, as well as, I really enjoyed a lot of videos that I did on Indonesian culture or even gamelan, which is kind of, obviously a whole different thing. But in any case, whatever you guys want, that's what I'll react to next. So I will see you guys all again on next week, the Wednesday Rabbit Hole, Dad, Daughters, and Drinks. And until then, I hope everybody does well, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Sekian video reaksi hari ini, semoga bisa menghibur Anda semua. Terima kasih, sampai jumpa di video-video selanjutnya.